I want to tell you that the Mark Williams is a singer, an actor, a producer. You play instruments.
I don't do that well.
That well, okay, not that well. You produce shows. What don't you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you with that, and that's an excellent question, especially where you laid it out there. When I was 18 years old, I worked at the ballparks,
Okay.
in all of the stadiums. I was one of the first black people who had a stand where the people come to you instead of you going out to them. Uh, but then I joined the Air Force, and I was with some guys, and we did a little prayer thing where they was like, "Hey man, you need to get saved." You said, and I was like, I've tried every religion that's going, and I've seen it, and they all function the same way. No, you gotta really get into it, get yourself together, and all that stuff. Okay, cool. So I prayed a prayer that whatever I did in my life, all was connected. In other words, if I'm gonna be a plumber, then everything that has to do with my life has to be with plumbing.
Okay.
Whatever I do, because you get scattered, you can't accomplish anything.
Right.
So from that point, I got into radio, I got into television, I got into music, I got into management, but it was all entertainment based.
Yeah.
And so
which is why you're so comfortable now.
Well, yeah, I've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you to do it dry.
I've been on your side, so you want to be, you got to be comfortable to get your point
Yeah.
across. But the thing is, all of the things that I've done have been connected. And a lot of stuff I just bumped into by being in the right place at the right time. I was in the right place at the right time because one of my most favorite jobs I ever had was I was first a road manager, then I managed the singing group, the Dells, and I was with them for 17 years. And
nice.
They taught me so much about show business. But I met them because I was friends with the Shy Lights, and that guy just happened to come to my house, and he had one of the guys in the Dells with him, and we were just talking. And at that time, I had a television show. It was in 60% of the country. And it was something I just always wanted to be there. I don't know why I wanted to be a road manager or whatever, but it was something. So he was saying, man, we don't have no road manager, you quit, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, what does it do? And he told me. I said, oh, man, I do that in my sleep. And so he said, all right, tell you what, come out this weekend. This is what it pays. And I was like, that don't sound like a lot of money. I'll do it anyway. It'll be like an internship.
Yeah.
Because I'm making my money over here. So cool. And from that just opened up. I got to meet almost everybody entertainer that I hadn't met. But I met the guys from the golden eras, from the 50s and 60s and the 70s, and became really good friends with a lot of them. And through that, I got to do a lot of, like we do sound checks in shows like that. And the comedy that I do a lot of now, we don't do that. But during the sound checks, I would go out and sing with the other person's band because the guys wouldn't be there. Somebody wouldn't show up, or they'd be late, or they'd say, we ain't sound checking today. So I would go out and sing their songs because I'm a decent mimic. And so through that,
goodness,
the audience, people would sit down and watch. And then like maybe the lead singer from the Dramatic would show up and Ron Banks wouldn't. So I would sing with him. And then I would sing with this and that one. And so a couple of times guys got sick of a horse. So I could stay over on the side and I could sing their part.
Nice.
And so from that, it just gave me I've been singing since I was little, but it wasn't nothing I wanted to do. But from that, I kind of started getting a hunger for it. Yeah. And enjoying it. And then from that, I started doing plays. I started working on plays. And somebody wouldn't show up, be sick, and I'd halfway know their lines. So I would go out and do that.
Child in a wheelchair. He identified it as your child.
No. So what you're saying is that my daughter's been kidnapped?
Sir.
And I mean, is that what you're saying to me? She's been kidnapped?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you.
No, this is not happening.
Calm down. Listen, I need to know if you know anything at all. Have you got any phone calls, any notes?
I have no information on anything. I don't know what's going on. This don't make sense. Lisa, what else? Did they tell you anything?
As I was talking to the coach, he stated to me that you guys were having some problems here at home.
Everything around here is all right. Everything here is fine. So this is what I'm not understanding.
Listen, all I want you to do, I got my best man on this, and leave my card, please. Let us know anything, any phone calls, anything. You've got to notify us. Now, don't try to do anything rash. Just call us. We're on it. We're on the case.
Just give us a call when y'all got some information.
Yes, sir.
I'm not understanding.
Suspect believed to be the triggerman in the robbery and triple murder is now in the custody of federal authorities. The handgun, which is believed to have been the murder weapon, has also been recovered. A memorial service for the late Captain McKinney to be held tomorrow at St. Vincent's Church on the north side. I will attend, as well as the mayor. The late captain will be awarded the department's Medal of Valor, the highest honor any officer can receive for his courageous attempt to foil the robbery, which ultimately cost him his life. That's all the information that I can give at this time.
Superintendent, what's the suspect's name, and was he arrested or did he give himself up?
I can't comment.
Are you looking for any other suspects?
I can't comment this
Has
time.
the stolen jewelry been recovered?
And then,
You know, that was smart, Mark. That was smart. That was smart for you to do all that.
Kind of just osmosis a lot of times. And so I wanted to be, the first thing I wanted to be in life was Berry Gordy. When I found out who Berry Gordy was, and this is like 64, 65, my family had a bar, and a lot of musicians would come in Chicago, and they would come into the bar. And this is before they got really hot. And, you know, they would come and they would lip sync to their record off the jukebox. It was that type of time.
Nice, okay.
And so I found out about this Berry Gordy guy. And he was behind all of these people. So he was not I'm going to call him puppet master, but he was a creator. And he could get all these people together, the writers, the producers, all of that. And so I started learning what those things were. And then as in a later, life, I got to create companies and do different things. So it's all about exposure to things, and being willing to open yourself up to stuff and actually wanting to do it. The performing thing came because I host we didn't have hosts for some of the shows, so I would come out and host. Like we just do the show. Well, we still do it, but we don't do as many. Called the 70s Soul Jam, where we would have Emotions, Peaches and Herb, Shy Lights, all of those acts on the show. It'd be like 8 of them. It'd be one band.
Soul Jam, starring New Birth, Cuba Gooding Jr., Heat Wave, Ray Goodman and Brown, The Emotions, and the Stylistics. Pardon me, Cuba Gooding Sr. Well, when you have a show with so many stars on it, it's very difficult to have one of them open. So we're going to need your help tonight. Are you guys willing to help us out a little bit? Now we're going to do a little familiar tune, and we hope you like it, but we got to have your help, okay? Because I need you to help me out with this. These guys talked me into doing this, so I need your help. All right, come on. I'm so in love with you.
And I get a kick out of that. But the production part just reaches so many people. And be honest with you, those people, those stars are big stars. These people draw 10, 15,000 people, which, hopefully in life that'll happen for me. But I know the realities of it. And so when you get to present somebody's favorite act singing their favorite songs, and you're the one that's putting it out there, making sure that the lights and the sound and the band and everything is tight, the seating is right, the floor was mopped, all of that, that gives me a bigger sense of pride, because it just affects so many people.
Well, I'll tell you, of all of the shows that I've gone to, watching the performers, I didn't think the performance would be as great without the production behind them. So kudos to that from me, because I like going to different shows, and in my head I always wonder what the artists, what type of look would the artists have when they're performing and stuff like that. So I'll say kudos to you for that, because watching the production is always a joy for me. I know I don't want to say I know the story, but I know the inspiration behind the song. Can you please tell our audience?
Oh, yes. That song was given to me by a guy named Dre Gray, a good friend of mine, who's music director for a lot of great artists. And we were in the studio, and I just heard this track and 3 or 4 other ones, but this track stuck out, and so I want to write something to that. So he said, "All right, see what you can come up with." So I took the track, I lived with it for a couple of days, and I kind of got the dance for me thing, but I couldn't come up with like the words. You know, when you walked into a room, all the eyes were on you, and that kind of stuff came from watching Michelle and President Obama. Because it was at that time when I was writing the lyrics, there was a lot of her dancing on Ellen. She was doing a lot of dancing stuff. And then I was looking at how he was looking at her at different points in time, and it just clicked to me that the song should be about basically a real one-on-one relationship where a person really just digs that. I just dig this woman.
Yeah.
And every time he would look at that woman, you could see he was into her, whatever it was. And so that's kind of, and this is the honest truth, that's where that came from.
When you dance for me, your poetry in motion, a treat for all eyes to see. Your movements are so sexy, but never too obscene. You're lost in the music. Girl, you found your space within this groove. Your body's waving like the ocean, and I'm so
so much, Mark, for coming in and hanging out with me. Wish you could come back again. Can you come back sometime?
We come through here 4 or 5 times a year.
Woo, yes. So we'll see you again.
I'll be here.
Good. You're invited. The door is open. And